So we have live now. So hello everybody who joining, who gonna watch record. Hello Korin.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good bro, good bro. Wishes from Lithuania. So today we're gonna have a live podcast with Korin Sutton from America, Florida, Miami, and we're gonna discuss about veganism, bodybuilding, fitness, about dieting. And Corinne is a nutritionist, the master fitness trainer, also was competing and winning bodybuilding competition. And he also my mentor. We're working together, and I'm glad that he find time here to share his experience.
No
So
doubt.
first question, Corinne, gonna be how everything started for you, this journey, of veganism, of bodybuilding. What was the first point when you decided that I need to change the life? Because I know your story, but people who gonna join they don't know it.
Yeah, so for me, it pretty much all started when I was in school. I was in the Navy Reserves at the time. Navy Reserves is like a part-time gig, like you're working for the military part-time. But I did 8 years in the military overall. I did 4 years fully active in the United States Marine Corps, and then got out, went into the United States Navy Reserves. Also, I deployed to Operation Iraqi Freedom 3 and 4. So
Mhm.
I've seen some wartime and stuff like that. And while I was in school and in the Navy Reserves at the same time, Gary Roski came into my classroom. He's a huge vegan activist, actually,
Mhm.
and he did his whole speech on veganism. So that speech actually enticed me to move more towards a plant-based diet. And from there, that's when I started researching more in depth when it came to the lifestyle, because for me, it really meant something. Like I never witnessed animals um, getting tortured or killed in that manner. I never really thought about where I get my food from. I kind of, you could say I kind of just made up this fallacy in my mind, thinking that like all animals are treated fairly and they're
Yeah.
humanely killed. And however that definition might sound, like, saying humanely killed,
Yeah.
um, obviously there's no humane of killing anything, knowing that now.
That's
And
true. That's true.
when I saw how the animals were getting treated, I just felt bad, because it just kind of reminded me of a lot of things I witnessed in the
All right.
past.
So we
Because
watched some documentaries, Corinne.
no, it wasn't a documentary. It was just a speech, man. Just
Oh,
one
after
one
speech.
guy. His name's Gary Roski. Came into my classroom, did a presentation. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Um,
get it.
yeah, not even a documentary. I don't even think there was documentaries back then, when I went vegan. So, you know, um, yeah, man. So he pretty much when he did his speech, I just never saw animals getting tortured in that type of way,
Mhm, mhm.
especially when it came to abuse and the treatment. All these things, it just put a bad taste in my mouth. And I guess from there, that's when I like, for me, I kind of just saw the animals like
Mhm.
they were innocent beings, and I didn't feel right consuming them from that point on. So that's when I kind of, decided on my own to go ahead and start transitioning more into a plant based lifestyle. I mean, it was so effective, that his speech was so effective that it actually, I actually changed my major, because when I was going to school at the time,
Mhm.
my major was criminal justice, and I just wanted to do something that was, some type of law enforcement job, something like that. I mean, and it wasn't
Mhm.
even
Sure.
something that I really wanted to do, truthfully. It was just something that I knew I was good at since I was in the military and stuff. But when I saw like how these animals were getting treated, I wanted to learn more about the truth when it came to nutrition and health, since that was something that I wasn't so knowledgeable on, or I didn't think I was that knowledgeable on, because I knew like basic nutrition, like eating fruits, vegetables are healthy for you. You
Yeah,
have
eat your protein, everything. Yeah.
yeah, like eat your adequate amount of protein,
Mhm.
obviously from animal byproducts, get your calcium from
Mhm.
milk.
Yeah, yeah,
This basic mindset that I had. But once I changed my major and started really diving deeper into exercise science and nutrition, I found out that a lot of things I was taught was wrong, and I've started realizing the importance of fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, like whole
uh,
food, plant based foods. Start realizing that these foods are higher in nutrients, and you can get a lot of your vitamins and minerals from alternative sources of food, and you don't need it from meat. Like meat,
yeah.
you don't really need it because if you kind of think about it, where these animals get their nutrients from, especially the
From
animals that we
plants, yeah,
consume,
yeah,
they're vegetarians. They're
and
vegetarians, and if they eat
totally true.
any type of living life form, it
Uh,
might be bugs, but
mhm.
like that's it. It's not.
uh, but but before that, do you have some like misunderstood? Like yeah, I need meat, and because I'm a man before that speech, or like I need to get protein because before that you're still being active, working out. Do you have some myths about veganism before that?
I mean, the thing with me, man, like I wasn't these guys that would work out and was so
Oh,
obsessed with protein. Like I wasn't these guys. I mean, I did ask Gary, like, where do you get the protein? I mean, I asked
yeah,
him that question, and he just told me like you can get all the protein you need through the plants.
yeah,
So, I mean, I just took that answer and just ran with it. And when I first started going to plant based, what I did was I transitioned more into a pescatarian diet,
hmm,
so I let go of anything that was on a land animal, milk, eggs, chicken, turkey, pork, beef, like
hmm,
anything that walked on land, I gave up immediately. And I just used fish as an alternative source of protein until I started learning more because, he gave me a general answer. And
yeah,
so, and I'm just the type of person like, well, let me look more deep into it before I fully commit.
hmm,
And the more I started learning, then I started letting go of the animal byproducts, like when it came to like the seafood, and started going more towards plants. Like when I started learning, like, oh, tofu is a great adequate source for protein, and tempeh
hmm,
and
hmm,
seitan and all these other products that's out there. That's when I was like, oh, okay, well, you can get a lot of protein being on a
yeah,
plant based diet. And then I went vegan. Yeah, it wasn't for me. The goal was to always be vegan. So there wasn't no, because I didn't like the whole processing. Yeah, like
yeah,
that's the thing with me. It's just like when if I don't like something or even how
hmm,
it's done, I just don't like it. So,
yeah,
I don't understand how, because even today, right now, I mean, we have who Miley Cyrus, who just
yeah.
decided to eat
Was
fish
yesterday
again.
or like few days before
Yeah,
that.
she wanted to eat fish again, and then before her was like John Venus and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
and what you think, bro, about this like when influencers or like these
I
stars,
mean,
quitting,
for
what
those
impact they make?
individuals, I mean, it's their life. They can do whatever they want at the end
True.
of the
Yeah.
day. But I just know personally for me, it's something that I can't go back to just because I just don't like the technique and the process.
Hmm.
And I would try if there was any type of health related issues going on with me,
Yeah.
I would definitely reach out to someone who's definitely a health expert, someone who knows a lot
Hmm.
more, and
Hmm.
who's a lot more qualified. And this obviously
Hmm.
that would go more toward, I would be seeking advice towards plant based nutrition. Well, not nutritionists, but plant based doctors. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would definitely be going towards them if
Hmm.
I needed extra advice if I was lacking in deficiencies. But one that's some of the things that I do teach my students is to prevent these deficiencies because keeping track of your macros, using my
Yeah.
fitness pal, making
Hmm.
sure and
Hmm.
having the accountability
Yeah,
of the
man. Like.
nutritional density that comes into the
Mhm,
foods and things like that.
mhm, mhm.
This can definitely prevent that, especially if you're adopting a lot of whole foods, plant based
Mhm.
meals into your diet.
And Corinne, what's your recommendation gonna be like for people who transitioning to plant-based, who vegan, or who like struggle in some cases? For example, they feel weak. or like they like see symptoms that they lack maybe or something, what foods you like recommend for them to, or like do some tests maybe or something?
For me, the best advice is really, seek out for professional help. Yeah, that's
Mm,
the best advice. Like, don't cherry pick information and
yeah.
do the research on your own unless you're in like an in-depth study or something like that. Like, you're going to doing something towards your career. Okay, because I mean that's what I did. But
Mm,
I was in school for a while, for a couple of years of learning these things. And
mm,
even after school, I'm still continuing learning because I get books from high qualified doctors like Dr. Michael Greger, Dr.
mm,
Angie Sadecki, Dr.
Bernard.
Barnard,
Hmm.
yeah, Dr. Neil Barnard, think people of these natures, and I'm constantly reading their books and reading
Hmm.
articles that they
Hmm.
put out, and just trying to always, re-educate my mind because
Yeah.
you have to think about this. There's many years that we ate animal byproducts. Like me,
Mm,
like I wasn't vegan. I wasn't born as a vegan. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I was born as an a carnivore, or consuming meat, and
Mm,
so a lot of things that I learned in school, and all these years of schooling and conditioning from parenting, from religious beliefs, like all this stuff, kind of all intertwined together. So to disconnect all the things I learned in the past to relearn something new, it's going to take a while, and you're going to have dips in the road, you're going to have a little bit of struggles, it's not going to be perfect in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I always say go to a professional. Like,
mm,
you have yourself, you have me, you have other plant-based doctors that's out there, other nutritionists, other
mm,
dietitians who's more informed around plant-based nutrition. Go to them because we've already done all the mistakes. What I'm saying, we did the
yeah, yeah,
mistakes. We
sure,
we
man.
we read all the books. We put into real practice. So we know how it works with ourselves,
Hmm.
also with other people.
Yeah,
So
man.
this is why, like, I post tons of testimonials on my website, so you can so to give out like accreditation, of like how
Mm,
powerful the diet can work. But if you're
mm,
just kind of going off a limb, and you're just using social media as your source of information, and that's it, you're not really buying books and reading
mm,
from
mm.
credible people, then this is where you're going to fall and
Yeah,
fail
man. For
when it comes
example,
to this lifestyle.
yeah, in YouTube, it's like these different like carnivore or something, this who eat, only meat or something, and you can, if you like new of changing the diet, you can easily misunderstood like who believe to, because everybody, there's a lot of fake gurus or something who selling books like supplements, like, oh, you need this, you need that. So
Yeah.
yeah, good point to go to real professionals like books, who doctors write, not like pseudoscience, and so on.
Hmm.
And like personal, you make transition before 8 years, yeah, right?
Yeah, I've been vegan for 8 years. Yeah.
And the bodybuilding come together with that, or like how it goes that you decide, to work out more intense.
I've been doing the bodybuilding, I think, like 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere around there, like 6, 7 years. And I went vegan first before I started training as a bodybuilder. And the bodybuilding thing was mostly for something to do for a sport, something
Mm-hmm.
recreationally to do, also to build up my brand and my business as well, something to advocate for animals, because this is one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to being vegan, which is you can't build muscle on a plant-based diet.
Yeah, yeah.
So definitely doing a sport that you it's a sport where you build muscle. It's bodybuilding. It's called bodybuilding for a reason. It's a sport where they only look at your muscles and how much
Yeah.
muscles you build. Joining a sport like that to show that you can build muscle on a plant-based diet, and not just showing like a testimonial, but also proving, you know, having an award-winning body. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
another thing. Like
Mhm.
it just
Mhm.
gives more proof and more solid validation when other people try to judge this lifestyle. So that's why I did it, because I felt that the more we can all get together, like, you know, all vegans and stuff like that can get together and show different points of views of how powerful the diet is, it gives less room for excuses for people to say how it can't work, you know.
Mhm.
So that's why I did it, and that's why I competed for so long, just to show that, like, look, you know, it's highly
Mhm.
possible. You can be 100
Mhm. Mhm.
super
Mhm.
healthy on the diet. You can do a sport like bodybuilding, and you know,
Yeah.
you don't need like illegal substances and drugs and steroids and stuff like that to
Mhm.
help you
Mhm.
put on muscle. I mean, I could hang in there with all those other guys and still win,
And you
you know.
yeah, and you go to competition with like people who eat meat, yeah, like.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm. Mhm. And
Regular
like
bodybuilding
you
shows. Yep.
you was only one or was only few like athletes who was vegan in these shows?
I mean, well, I mean, now there's more people who you'll see more people who's vegan, or you know,
Mhm.
they're doing different types of diet styles and stuff like that. But when I was doing shows, you know, I think there's multiple shows that I've done that I was the only vegan, or
Mhm.
maybe I was on a team filled with vegans, you know, because I do participate my free time with nonprofit organizations. So, for example, like Plant Built. Plant Built is a nonprofit where they take a bunch of vegan athletes. Is put together. I think the team a couple years ago was probably somewhere in the 30s or 50s, something like that. It
Mhm.
was a pretty significant number that we
Mhm.
had, and you know, we would do like these super shows, like where these super shows would consist of multiple sports like bodybuilding, bikini modeling,
Mhm.
powerlifting, CrossFit,
Mhm.
kettlebell swings, things like that. And we would dominate the whole competition in various different sports. So it's that's one of the things that we did to just, again, just create more validation that, you know, don't 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 think being plant-based is going to make you weak and malnourished. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
these we're not these individuals who's being coming ex-vegans who's normal people. These are
Mhm. Mhm.
people who's these are athletes. These are people who's putting their body like to the max, you know, not just sitting around doing
Yeah.
nothing,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
lifting regularly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah,
know,
bro. And
you
like,
know, when you
what's
compare these people.
and like now and more, you know, like people going to like these sorry, these athletes going, you know, to plant-based. And from your experience, from your research, what advantages these people get, like from quitting, you know, animal products? It is health for recovery, like for endurance, like.
I mean, the thing is that for me, I could only, and this is when I get asked this question. The thing is that I wasn't a bodybuilder eating meat.
Mhm. Mhm.
So when it comes to physical attributes, it's only so much I can compare and contrast, but it won't be like something that's a very solid answer. But I could tell you this, you know, bodybuilding training compared to military training, I
Mhm.
personally feel that the bodybuilding training physically is a lot harder than the military training. Military training does have physical challenges, but I would say it's more like mental, you know, versus physical
Mhm.
challenges. It's more
Mhm.
mental, because military, you have a lot of tactics and, you know, staying up for various of hours. Like it's more survival things. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this is it's a lot different versus and how you use your body and stuff like that. It's a lot different versus like actual physical training. Like,
Mhm.
you know, as a
Mhm.
bodybuilder, where you're in the gym like 2-3 hours a day, you know, just lifting till you can't lift anymore.
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I'm saying?
all lifestyle, you know. You can do workouts, but if you're not eating right, if you're not resting, if you don't have a regime, you know, you
Mhm.
can have great results. Yeah.
Absolutely. So for me, like when we're comparing the two, I would say like from the recovery standpoint, definitely a lot faster. You know, a lot faster recovery. Skin is a lot clearer. I don't hold on to a lot of body fat. I mean, this was one of the big things too, because when I was young, I mean, I ate and drank and partied a lot and always had
Yeah.
a six pack. But I never counted macros, never kept track of my nutrition. I just ate how I felt, you know. And
Yeah.
but if we compare, when I was in the military, I was doing a lot of running and a lot of physical stuff, especially in the
Mm,
Marine Corps, right? And I was a
mm,
lot younger. But then once I got to the Navy Reserves and my activity level, and this is now more part time, my activity level went down a lot. You know, I'm getting older, but I was still eating the same way, you know,
mm,
eating and drinking the same way. The weight started coming on like really, really fast, you know.
mm, mm,
And then when I went pescatarian after hearing Gary's speech, again, I wasn't even in the field yet of you know, nutrition and
yeah.
exercise. So I was still not that knowledgeable. Just changing my diet, a lot of fat just fell off. I
Mm,
started getting a six pack again. I started feeling more energized, like more. I was looking more ripped. Skin started clearing up. So when
mm.
I saw that, I was like, man, like if I'm getting all these great results by just going
Why not to go? Yeah.
pescatarian,
Yeah.
I can only imagine how I look and feel when I go fully vegan and just let go of this fish.
Mm,
So that's when I did that. You know, I just got more leaner and more in shape. Now, to note on that, when I went vegan, there wasn't a lot of processed vegan foods. You
mm.
know, you know, you go vegan, it was plant based.
Yeah.
You know,
It's now
it's like
just yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
the option.
Yeah, it's now just getting trendy like last few years. Like it's
Yeah,
just
now there's so many options. I think it's a lot easier to go vegan, but to be a healthy vegan, it might be
it's
harder.
harder, could be. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because
it's
some
harder.
people just like convenient foods. They don't care, just
Yeah,
they want to eat this, and that's it.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah. So that's what I think when it comes to the whole thing. But definitely, I've seen significant changes in a lot of things, like my mental mindset,
mm,
physical, my physical being, spiritual being. Everything has changed. Like how
mm,
my outlook on life has changed a lot. How I look at animals has changed. You know, how I look at people has changed too. Because you know, when you have more compassion overall, it makes you a better person altogether, you know.
yeah, man, that's true. And like, yeah, we go like, and there's like even scientific proof that going plant-based helps you lose fat without like restricting the calories a lot. And like, I know you like working, with the clients, like especially people who overweight and where people like mostly struggle when they need to to lose fat, especially not like for dieting, but like to make lifestyle for longer term.
That was a question. Sorry.
Like question where people struggling.
Oh, where are people struggling when
Yeah, yeah,
they're trying to lose
yeah,
weight on a
yeah, yeah.
plant
The most,
lifestyle?
mhm. Yeah, the most. For example, your clients.
I feel that most people struggle on food combinations and just the balance of eating plant based foods.
Mm,
I think that's where most people really struggle the most because a lot of my students when they come into my program, they just don't understand nutritional density of foods. Like a lot of people don't eat a lot of vegetables. So, you know, I know that
mm,
for a fact. I mean, and
yeah,
just
yeah.
to give you a good idea, like I don't even need any studies for this. You know what I'm saying? Like there's studies out there that proves what I'm saying, but you
Mm,
don't need them because there's studies that show that right now the in America the recommendations for the servings of vegetables, fruits and vegetables is now up to 10 servings a
mm.
day just because people aren't eating enough fruits and vegetables, right? So
Yeah,
they
people, getting like consider vegetables like potato fries, tomato sauce or something. There's a lot of
Yeah. People put use that as tomatoes. I mean, they use that as fruits and vegetables, but
yeah.
people don't eat enough like greens, like
Which is
lettuce,
most healthier, yeah.
collards, kale, spinach. People don't eat a lot of this,
Yeah.
Even when you go out to restaurants and stuff, they don't serve like I haven't been to a restaurant like an animal-based restaurant where your side dish is just a big plate of kale or something like that, or even
Yeah, the
have
portion is like very, very low in vegetables. They just put like
yeah,
for you, not for nutrition.
yeah, mostly on a plate. What you'll see is a lot of carbohydrates, and protein filling up most of that plate. So like if you go to like animal-based restaurant, you'll see like a quarter-ounce steak with a bunch of carbohydrates, which would be like some potatoes or something like that, or rice, and then all the fat is hidden with all the grease and
The
oil
oils.
that's in the steak and
Yeah,
in the potatoes. So all the fat will be hidden because you won't see it. Because they'll put like milk, they'll put butter, and on and then the oil that they use to cook the steak on and all the stuff, like all this is hidden, plus the fat that's already in the steak as well, like all that's hidden, and you don't really put it into consideration.
and also like a lot of salt, yeah, for example, as well. Like
Yeah, a lot of sodium too and stuff like that. But like I think, and when people go more plant-based, their mindset is still the same. They'll probably just do they'll eat more salads, or their salad intake might increase, but their carbohydrate intake they'll still be the same. Like they'll still eat French fries or eat potatoes with butter and things like that. But it's not a balanced meal because a lot of people don't know where to get the protein from. And then you have a lot of misinformation out there because some people feel that you technically don't need a lot of protein, but it all depends on each individual. It's not a one solid answer, because when it comes to the whole protein thing, I always say this, that it depends where you are in your life. Like if you're someone who's sedentary and you have a lot of health issues and stuff like that, and you're working with a doctor or something like that through plant-based nutrition, just for, mostly for health and wellness, and I'll see some weight loss, like very extreme weight loss. Oh yeah, then you don't really need a lot of protein.
but like what's your recommendation for people who are working out per gram or like pound?
Well, I mean, the thing what I do is I'm a sport nutritionist. So like when I work with people, my recommendation is going to be different versus like the standards. So like if and I don't like answering this question because again, like how I was saying,
Korin, you cannot answer.
it depends. Yeah, because it's like
it
when
depends on the individual.
Solid answer. But I'm more real and I say it depends because it depends what you're doing. Like I said, if you're someone with wellness, you don't need a lot of protein. So like the standard is like, the women probably need like 40 grams of protein and the men only need 60 grams of protein.
Yeah.
But again, this is someone who's not very active, someone who's very sedentary. When I say sedentary, like you're not working out, you're not training, you work at office or something like that, and you probably have some health related issues, and you're trying to get that reversed or something like that. So doing a lot of more like whole food, plant-based foods and trying to hyper-nourish a lot of vitamins and minerals more into your diet is going to really help with that. And this is what, most doctors usually, if you go to a plant-based diet, this is some of the standards and procedures that they do. Okay. But I'm a sport nutritionist. So if you come with me and you got like some crazy disease, like, Hashimoto's or something like that, something crazy, like I want to tell you straight up, like I can't work with you. I can't. Like I'm not specialized for your disease. Or like, I can't. But if you're someone like, I'm here for fat loss, and you could have like type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, I mean, by law, I can't say that it can be reversed. By law, I can't. As a nutritionist, I can't. I have to be like a registered dietitian or a doctor to actually say these things. But by law, I could say it can help aid in reversal, or it can help prevent. It's just the wording. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I've had people whose like their levels drop. They have to get off. They don't have to get off. They're able to get off a lot of medications and stuff like that. But a lot of this, especially when you're working with me, is regulated through me, also through the doctor support, because they're the ones that's checking your blood levels. So, but when it comes to back to the protein, though, this is where we can start saying, like, if we want to use a formula, a gram of I go like this, like I said, it's a sport. More likely like a gram of muscle weight, like a pound of muscle weight per gram of protein. So not just your weight, your muscle weight, lean, dry muscle weight. So that's how I usually do it for someone who's doing a sport, but or working with me. But yeah, that's how it would technically work.
All right, bro. Good. We have one question. Can you see it? Or I can read it. One people write, I still eating fish 1 time per week and also eating eggs and milk. What you can suggest for me how to make smooth transition to real vegetarian or vegan?
Yeah. So for the seafood and the eggs, one of the best ways to transition from it is they have like, you can make this. He's from Lithuania.
Yeah.
So like he can make like tofu scrambles and stuff like that. That could be a great egg replacer. And if you use an ingredient called black Himalayan salt or something like that, it's like a black sulfur salt. It smells like it has a scent of rotten eggs, right? This salt does. But if you sprinkle just a tad bit into your tofu scramble, it gives it more of that egg flavor. So and tofu's higher in protein than eggs anyways, because if you don't know what eggs are, eggs is the menstrual cycle of the hen, so you're eating, period. That's what you're eating. You're eating a hen's period. That's what you're eating. So, if that doesn't change your mind, I don't know what will. And because you're eating something that literally came out of a chicken's butthole. I don't eat things that comes out of someone's butthole. You know what I'm saying? So if that doesn't change your mind, like, that is ludicrous. But then you also for the what he said, the fish.
For the fish, yeah.
For the fish, I don't know if y'all have alternative fish stuff out there, but there is recipes.
Really, I think
there is recipes that you can make that has like a fish flavor. Like, for example, if you use like heart of palms or palms of heart, I don't know, it's one of those two terms, with like seaweed, this would give it like a fish flavor. You know what I'm saying? So like you can do that as well. So there's some alternatives out there that you can look up that's vegan to get you out of that. But then again, like I said, from the ethical standpoint, like the chicken, and then also with like, if you want to hear like an ethical standpoint from the fish, it's like the fish, for example, has very sensitive feel of touch, right? Their scales is almost like our nervous system, but on the outside of our body, because we have nerves, but they're inside. So when we touch, the nerves is what's responding, so we can actually feel. But imagine if our nerves were on the outside, we would feel everything. Like we would feel any type of like lint that would fall on it. We would feel any type of breeze. Like it'd be hypersensitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you really would feel things. So, and if you think about like a school of fish when they swim together, you ever notice like if you tap of water, they all move in sync together. That's because their scales and stuff they feel the current flow. So that's how they're so that they don't move because of their eyes. They don't move, but just seeing what others are doing
They're feeling
at that
everything.
precise moment. It's way like, can you imagine that? That's way too hard. Even birds that fly in formation who they literally use their eye and also the wind gate. Yeah. Like sometimes the formation can be messed up, right? Like I've seen birds have messed up formations, but with fish, it's perfectly in sync. Like when they move, and it's faster, like way faster than birds. So if you think about it, it's because how they swim together, they feel the current, they feel how each one's swimming. So they know that from touch, it's almost like dogs. Like they don't really see with their eyes. It's more of hear and smell. You know what I'm saying? They're more hypersensitive.
Animals have bigger senses.
In those senses. So when you hook a fish, even when you catch release, it's like very painful for them. When you pull them out of water and you scrape them and you cut in there, like they feel all that stuff. It's worse than what you can imagine. It's a lot worse than what you can imagine, because imagine if your sense of touch was heightened. And because we don't hear nothing, or fishes don't really make expressions, we don't know. But biologically, they do. They know. So once you know that as well, it makes you think. So it all depends. Like for me, like I said, I went vegan for ethics. So like for me, like that's why I started learning about all this stuff. And like I said, it was a journey for me. So it wasn't like I knew all this stuff about fish like after his talk. That was a mere fraction to get me going into the direction. The more I learned, the stronger my vegan
will be.
became.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
Yeah.
And if people, consider maybe about this omega-3s, what's your recommendation will be that not be afraid, not be lack of it, or?
Well, for omega-3s, so we have like ahi flower oil, right? So this is a great source of omega-3s, 3, 6, and 9s. And it's all 100% vegan. It's very friendly to the environment because this comes from an actual flowering plant. That's how it looks like right here. And the thing with this is that when it comes to the EPA levels, it's 400% higher than chia, hemp, and flax. And it's one of the richest sources of plant-based omegas. So this is something that you could look into. And then you also have algae. Algae is a great source of your omega-3, 6, and 9s. And then you also have a lot of other healthy fats like your nuts and seeds. You can get a lot from there. But definitely look into like the ahi flower oil, the algae, and also flax seeds. These are very great sources.
Yeah, get it, man. Also, another question when people ask, what do you think about juice fasting? Have you done it?
No, I never did juicing or fasting. Just because to me, I just don't believe in it. I feel that a lot of it's really pseudo stuff. I mean, there is like benefits behind it, but it's not a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lifestyle. And the thing, I mean, some people can make it a lifestyle, but it's not a lifestyle. And for me, and for the people I teach, it's not a lifestyle. So, that's the main reason. Because, like, for example, for juicing, like, there's benefits of juicing because you can, in like one bottle, and if we like mix a bunch of fruits and vegetables, you can hypernourish the body very quickly because you can get a lot of vitamins and minerals, like very fresh and rich vitamins and minerals taken in all at once without drinking like a whole container of or eating tons of fruits and vegetables, right? Because it's pretty much squeezed and concentrated out of the material that you're using. But one of the things about juicing is that you remove a lot of fiber as well. So when you remove the fiber, this is what the microbiome like feeds off of. You know, the microbiome that definitely feeds off of fiber. And when you lack fiber out of your diet, you know, this can make you like more constipated and things like that. And a lot of people have like, you know, if anything that people have problems with is constipation. You know,
Yeah,
a lot of
it's a
people
lot
suffer
of
from
problem.
that. Yeah. So is it really helping the issue if you just go on a straight juice to cleanse your body, or maybe you should just consume more whole
Health
food
every day. Yeah,
and eat healthy every day? Yeah, exactly.
like
Yeah.
what else juice boost like without fiber it rise like glucose much higher and faster. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, you know, that's why I don't like this whole juice thing and fasting and stuff, because this, unless you can make it sustainable and this is something that you do and you know you want to do for life, yeah, I mean, cool, you know, but you know, if you're a person who like you're doing it because you want to cleanse your body, I mean,
Yeah, man.
you could do a cleanse, but a cleanse doesn't do anything if you're not eating healthy after that cleanse. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So
that's
if you just if you like, and I've seen people do this in these cleansing retreats. I've been to one actually, but I didn't
yeah.
participate. I was just a
All
speaker
right.
there, and I said the
Oh.
same thing. I don't even know why they invited me, but because I wasn't,
They want you to
I
push
was
to that.
against it. I was against it with what all the other speakers were trying to say, but I guess it was good because I said the same thing, because some of them weren't even vegan. Yeah, some of the people there and some of the speakers and coaches that was there who was pushing these juice diets weren't even vegan. So I just said, like, what's the point of doing a juice and then you're eating crap like meat and all this crap that poisons the body anyways? I'm like, it does one day or
That
one
makes sense.
or
Yeah.
even 3 months, because there were some people who's juicing and fasting for 3 months. I was like, it's not going to repair years of garbage. It's not. And I was like, and for someone like myself who thinks that way, you know, that's why I went vegan, because I'm thinking about, since I was a child till my mid-20s, when all the crap I ate, all the things I did to abuse my body, the alcohol, the drugs, the pizzas, you know, the candies, the sodas. Like, I used to down this stuff all the time. I lived the standard American diet. I was the poster child of it. Yeah. So, I mean, living that and doing that, I was like, yo, I can't do, no cleanse is going to repair 20 something years of damage. I have to change my lifestyle.
That's true, man.
See, it makes more sense that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, like I can say also add, I never done like juice fasting, but I done like fasting, and I can say it can, you know, be beneficial, but in some case, and I heard from a lot of people experience that you can, you know, fast 1 2 days, but like after that, there is a lot of times when next day people just overeat because the body compensate and they feel like, oh, I need to get the food, you know, or something, and it's all the beneficial gone away also like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like you say, like, you know, about American diet, but like it seems that, you know, that this healthy lifestyle is trending in the world. Like there are a lot of, you know, people sharing the message like about, you know, veganism, about mental health, about like working out, but like where you think the society is going, if it's going like in better way or still a lot of people will struggle, and like our health system is like one day gonna bankrupt because there's like they're raising, you know, the like money for medicine like years and years like for pills, and like what you think about that?
I think you know, people are definitely moving more towards the direction of health more than ever, just because there's a vegan market, you know, and you have to kind of think like, what, as a business guy or more entrepreneur or money mindset. It's like yeah, if veganism wasn't so great, it wouldn't be more vegan restaurants opening during a pandemic. Listen to this. There's more. I just read an article about a month ago, a news article that said that more vegan restaurants has opened up since the pandemic ever.
In America or whole world?
America. Yeah, in America. Yeah, only in America. Yeah. So like, I don't know about everyone else, but like in America, yeah. So that's one thing. Yeah, and then also you have like a lot of alternative meats and new products that's coming out. Like even grocery stores are making their own vegan lines. Yeah. So if there wasn't if it wasn't big, people wouldn't invest. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I invest in something that not going anywhere? You know what I mean? Like that's how people think when it's more money mindset. You know, so like a lot of these grocery stores, like fast food restaurants, especially here in America, they're not even vegan, but they have a vegan option. Even I can even go to like a small business, family owned restaurant, and they could have like a meat option. And I'm seeing more vegan options, like even if it's like the Impossible Burger, you know, like they're going to have something to accommodate a vegan. Which I'm seeing more and more and more. And I'm getting more surprised because I just found out there was a Thai restaurant that had like right next to my house, literally like
vegan options. Wow.
5-minute drive, right in front of my house with vegan options. And I was like, and I drilled them, and they're like, no, we're vegan, like no animals. So I was like, what? And then even the receipt said vegan, you know, like the vegan pad thai or vegan, you know. I was like, oh, if it's the receipt, you know, like they're pretty serious, you know. Like so, like it's growing. I mean, it's growing. I mean, on social media you're gonna find people who's giving up and stuff like that, but I don't think it's not gonna like it's only one person. They're not gonna affect the world. You know what I mean?
So like every year, you know, in Veganuary, a lot of people joining, like 1,000, 100,000.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people with health issues too. So like, you know, their whys are a lot stronger than some of these other influencers that's out there. You know,
of course. Like there's a lot of new evidence come every year, you know, and the lifestyle medicine also doing like these clinical trials with people how changing diets they quit, you know, medicine, lower, you know, cholesterol and so on. And for example, people like Dr. Michael Greger doing like amazing job, you know, with nutrition facts, you know, like busting all the myths, you know, like and there's like one more question about protein. What to use instead of lentils, beans, and chickpeas for your protein?
Well, like I said before, there's like tofu, seitan, tempeh. There's tons of recipes on my Instagram. You can always check that out. Then you have like your protein powders and stuff, like even this one right here. You know, from Clean Machine, we got the Clean Green protein with lentine. So lentine is a good superfood, and this is the only protein that's not isolated. And in each scoop, you get 20 grams of protein, 40% of your omega-3, 6, and 9s as well, plus tons of vitamins and minerals, and your B vitamins too. So this is one of the benefits of that. If y'all want to learn more about lentine, y'all could definitely Google search it. Plant-based News actually did a little article on it. You can just put in duckweed. That's what it's called as well, duckweed, and just check it out if you want to learn more. But then when it comes to more protein sources, it's in everything, like hemp seeds, your fats, even your vegetables. But the thing is that this is where people get confused, is like when they're trying to collect their protein sources, because see, again, we have this standard American diet mindset or an animal consumer mindset, right? And the thing is that how we think like this, like protein is meat, right? And that's it. Everything else is, you know.
The market sell it, you know, like for example, this you only can get, you know, from the milk calcium or something.
And then like your fats is your nuts and seeds, and then your carbs is like you know, everything else, like beans, lentils, freaking fruits, your fruits and your veg. So,
Yeah.
but the thing is, it goes deeper than that, because when you learn how to combine your foods, you can get a lot of protein from a mixture of everything. But
Mm-hmm.
this is why I teach people how to use MyFitnessPal and keep track of their foods. It's not just to make you accountable and make sure you're eating like, when I give you a meal plan, make sure you're following that meal plan. It's not for that. It's so you can physically see where you're getting your nutrients from. So
Mm-hmm.
like, because you'll be like, oh snap. So you're saying if I get like a couple cups of kale that might have 5 grams of protein in it, a cup of rice that has 5, a cup of beans that has like 20, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
with maybe a side of seitan, 4 ounces of
Mm-hmm.
seitan, which is like 40 grams. That
Mm-hmm.
plate right there, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really counting. I'm just kind of
Yeah,
shooting
yeah, yeah.
numbers.
It's a lot.
Like
It's about
y'all
70
get,
grams. Yeah.
like it's somewhere around what? Like if that was 40 and all the numbers are
70 grams.
maybe
Yeah, it's a lot.
70, 80 grams just in
Mm-hmm.
that plate
Yeah, it's a lot.
altogether, because it's a combination of everything. We have to add everything together. So this is why I try to teach people how to count macros, so you can really understand nutritional science and how it really works. It is a science. And if you actually learn more about it, then you're more comfortable and you're more conscious when you're ordering certain foods. Because like when you see like a burger and fries or something, I mean, maybe if you're someone who's losing weight, maybe you don't need that much. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you can like alternate the burger to like a lettuce strap, because that bread is filled with carbs, and then having like fried potatoes might have probably exchange that to like maybe a side of broccoli. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that's the whole point of like doing this,
Mm-hmm.
so you can
And
actually know
what's it?
how to eat
Yeah.
accordingly to your
Mm.
fitness goals. And
What is your like favorite meal of like low calorie, for example? I mean, not low calorie, low carbs.
my favorite meal that's low in carbs,
Yeah, yeah, like what you use like daily most.
mostly it would be the tofu scramble. That's the
Mm.
one I do the most. And I think because like when I should eat animal byproducts, I had a huge. And maybe this is because I kind of just thought about this. Maybe it's an unconscious association because I was
Yeah,
a
man,
big
could be.
egg guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like having the tofu scramble kind of like, I guess gives that satisfaction of having like eggs in the
Mm.
morning, because conditioned every
Yeah, yeah,
breakfast is usually
yeah.
something with eggs, right? So, but one of the benefits with the tofu scramble is there is no egg. I'm not eating anything out of no chicken's butt. And the best thing is that it's way higher in protein,
Mm.
because when I actually look into it, you know, just estimating like 400 grams of protein, I mean 400 grams of tofu, extra firm tofu, can equivalent up to 70, 80 grams. That's like one solid block. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of protein. And there, you know how many eggs you would have to consume just to even get that? And if we compare
Need to
price,
count
the
four,
total,
five, no, six.
maybe even more. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's up
And
there.
you get like, and you get cholesterol
Oh,
like
your cholesterol
double.
is going to be
How
super.
you can?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're doing like the eggs, your cholesterol levels are going to be super high. Even if you do egg whites,
Mm.
just imagine how much egg white. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot
Mm.
to get that
Yeah,
much
man.
if you're comparing it. And then by price, you know, one extra firm tofu for like, and this is how I start looking at things. It's like what, $2 for 80 grams of protein versus what, a carton of eggs. Like, to get that much protein intake, like it's going to be a lot.
Mm.
Like that's like what, almost like, I would say, I think it's a whole carton. I feel, just to get the same amount of protein. So it's like when you're comparing the prices, it's like, look how much food you're wasting and
Yeah.
all the stuff you're doing just to get that much, and you can get
And
it
like,
easy through
mm,
plants. You know what I mean?
and like, yeah, man. And like, what you can say about people, doesn't matter if they're vegan or not, who still believing like or like afraid of soya because of, I mean, soya, tofu, like other parts, like because of GMO, or other things. All right,
Oh,
that it lowers your estrogen, you know, like.
oh well. I mean, there's articles that already been published out. I mean, you could look at
Mm,
Dr. Michael Greger in his book
mm,
How Not to Die, or go to his
mm,
website nutritionfacts.org. The thing about him is like, and I like referencing him because if you just look up the article, you'll find all the published studies there backing
mm,
up the statements. But when it comes down to it, there's, like I said, there's studies out there that says that when it comes to tofu and soy, and with the whole estrogenic effects causing issues to the human hormone, this
mm,
has been debunked. Like it doesn't do anything because it has something called phytoestrogens inside of it,
mm, mhm,
and and this is a plant hormone. And to put it into simple terms, you're not a plant. So because you're not a plant, yeah, it
you
doesn't
need
have
to
any
be free.
effect to the
Yeah.
human hormone. Okay. And it
Mm,
actually plays a more beneficial effects when it comes to like health and wellness, like reduce cholesterol, lowers your cholesterol because tofu and soy has zero cholesterol, right?
yeah.
Also, as well, reduce gaining weight, putting on a lot of body fat. So also helps with your bones because tofu is high in calcium, great source of calcium. So it helps with
Mhm.
strengthening your bones. It's better than actual cow's milk. You know what I mean? So there's tons of health benefits behind it.
Yeah, man, get it. Yeah, I think we'll be going to then because you said you have around hour, and so like
Yeah.
your one question will be for you: what is your like future goals for next year, for example? I know that you're writing goals, you know, like every day and everything, but like the bigger goal or something like that.
Yeah, no, like right now, what I'm working on is I'm trying to get certified as a plant-based chef.
All
So
right.
that's something that I'm trying to accomplish by the end of the year, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to opening up my schedule so I have more time to study and do the courses. But I've already started the course. I'm already in the school and enrolled. So it's just the fact of me just trying to get through it and get certified
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
with me, since I do a lot of meal plans and I've been putting out a lot of recipes for my students, um, it it really has to help. I want to become professional in the cooking because I really want to help like everyone to be able to transition into the lifestyle better. And I
Mm-hmm.
also understand like the work, like the working man or the working woman. I understand a lot of people don't have a lot of time, and a lot of
Yeah,
people
that's good.
want to sit in the kitchen for a long time. So I, I figured like if I take like a cooking class and become a chef, like certified, I could come out with even more and better recipes
Mm-hmm.
for y'all, so y'all can make really good foods, but it's fast. You know what I mean? Like because
Yeah.
I kind of understand um, that this is the people that I work with, and I understand how that
Yeah,
feels.
like a lot of people don't have time, you know, for cooking, you know, for
Yeah,
if you make meals who takes like cook like 30 minutes even, you know, or hour, they don't do it,
yeah.
you know. And
Especially healthy
mm,
foods. What that's good.
mm,
Yeah, that's
mhm,
another thing because it's like a lot of people don't know how to cook with vegetables.
mhm.
It's like when we
Yeah.
kind of think about it, like I remember when I used to consume meat. If you asked me like what type of vegetable dishes I made,
Yeah,
I would
potato
just
fries.
like steam or boil. It
uh,
was like steam and boil.
yeah,
That's it. Like if it's corn,
frozen
boil it.
vegetables. Yeah, yeah.
You don't. I never really made dishes with vegetables. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it was with meat. Maybe you use certain vegetables for seasonings, but like mostly your seasoning and you're putting more time into the meat versus like
Mm.
what kind of special thing I can make with vegetables. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
too that a lot of people lack because of that.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, man, like thank you for your time, you know, for sharing information and like who want to learn more or maybe consider, you know, to reach out Korean and find out if he can help you with your fitness goals or your like transition to vegan diet, you can go to this link It's gonna be in the comments, and you can register for 10 minutes talk. Maybe you want to something other, Corin, for them.
Yeah, and also if you want to learn more about like let's say for example like the recipes, you go on my Instagram. It's it's at Korin Sutton. If you want to check out my testimonials and some of the work I've
Mhm.
done, it's also on my business Instagram, which is at BodyHD Fitness. So definitely check us out there. And if you want to learn more about my programs, like you want to work with me and Polish, because Polish is one of the coaches as well. Just go to bodyhdfitness.com. Check us out there because we have tons of testimonials, tons of informations, a lot of blogs on recipes and fitness advice. So just go there, check that website out if you have any questions or want to learn more about that.
Yeah, man. So like, thank you so much. Like, keep in touch and like, have a great weekend, man. Wishes from Lithuania. Cheers, man.
All right, man. See you, bro. Nice talking to you.